In continuation of our last class, today we'll be delving into genre. What exactly is genre? Well, like I always tell you, in an attempt to define anything, what is acting, what is drama, what is this, what is that, it's always best and proper for you to start your definition with it can be described as, or it may be defined as. So if we talk about genre in acting, you could say genre could be defined as a type of classification, a type of categorization, a type of grouping. Now, when you now understand what genre is, then the next thing you'll be talking about will be your style of presentation, your approach. Okay, now we know that nowadays we have different genres. Well, some people call it genre, like the Delta boys from the Urobo boys from the Delta speaking park. I find it difficult to pronounce the word genre, so they call it genre. So some call it genre, some call it genre. But whichever way, let's just use for the purpose of this class, genre. Okay, so that's just simple. Genre may be defined as categorization, style, grouping, and stuff like that. And I went on to say that after you understand what the genre is, then you can now talk about the style of presentation to approach when it comes to acting. See, as an actor, one thing is certain. There is no clear-cut, definite style of acting. It all depends on so many things. It depends on the director, it depends on the screen, and it depends on the type of drama. Now let's talk a little bit about the type of drama. Let's talk about tragedy, Basically, we know that tragedy may be defined as a type of drama whereby the character flaws, that's the mistakes, the errors of the tragic hero, turns around to lead him to his downfall. Now, this creates empathy in the audience or the viewers. I mean, somebody with all his pride, his ego, trying to run away from an issue or thinking he can handle an issue. At the end of the day, these same issues rope him and then he dies. For the audience, they have already empathized with the tragic hero, and most times or more often, it makes them feel sad and it makes them cry. Now we talk about comedy. Of course, on the other hand, is a different style of acting, where the issue being addressed is not very serious. You have unserious characters, so to speak, or unserious approach to unserious matters, which at the end of the day is meant to elicit laughter, in the audience or the viewers, or create fun. Now we'll talk about another type of drama, which is satire. In satire, you have a social issue. Right now, this social issue is being addressed and brought to the fore, either on stage, on radio, on screen, in such a way that the audience, the viewers, the listeners will now understand that, there are issues on ground, right? And these issues are being brought to the fore and they are preferring a solution. Sometimes it might be laced with a little bit of humor, but with the message, lying on the ground. And then, fourthly, just for the purpose of this class, we talk about melodrama. I mean, melodrama has didactic two-point approach, good over evil, telling a story about good over evil, and at the end of the day, you make sure that good triumphs, over evil. Now, basically, you have these as types of drama. For the actor, I reminded you in one of our classes that a lot of people, when you talk about acting, they always think about the screen actor. Why? Maybe because of the Nigerian Nollywood movies or the ones you all download from YouTube and Netflix or whatever you call it, A lot of people just see acting basically from the screen point of view. But there's another kind of acting which is stage. And there's also another kind which is audio. You call it audio drama, audio acting, radio acting. But of course, the most popular is screen acting. So a lot of people tilt towards screen acting. And then there is the stage acting, which takes a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of energy. And you really must have a lot of patience to go through rehearsals and rehearsals and rehearsals until you get your lines. Of course, unlike screen acting, where you know that if you make a mistake, they can always cut, or doing editing, they can cover up. And then the viewers out there will think that you're such a fantastic actor, forgetting that there are many other people, you know, professionals who help to make your work a lot easier. And then radio acting. You know, radio acting is not so popular in this part of the world. But of course, BBC radio drama has made radio drama very popular. Very, very popular. Okay, basically, having said that, let's just delve a little bit into acting styles. We have realistic acting style, we have the non-realistic styles. Of course, there are a long list to many of the things I'm going to be sharing with you now, but I just want to narrow down to some specifics, you know, or better still, the more important, or so to say, the more relevant one for the now. When we talk about realistic acting, we're talking about acting that is as close to real life as humanly permissible. You know, where a lot of effort is painstaking effort is put into recreating a near true life example of what you actually see in real life, and then you put it either on stage or basically on screen for the viewer or for the audience to get to know. And then one of the propagandists of such is a Russian called Konstantin Stanislavski. Very interesting. Stanislavski propagated this method acting, which I'm going to go into later. Of course, non-realistic acting is simple, the opposite of realistic acting, you know, where acting is not exactly like true to life. Basically, actors are not made to be as psychologically and emotionally involved in the characters they are portraying, so that in a way, the audience is not too dragged into empathizing with the characters, that they forget that all they're watching is just, you know, make-believe. Okay, talking about a style of acting called method acting. Of course, we have different kinds of acting propagandists, you know, Jerzy Grotowski, Lee Strasberg, Antoine Antoid, if I'm not wrong, Bertolt Brecht, and many others, including modern day, you know, directors who train actors, or actors turned directors. But I'd just like us to just take a look at two today. One is method acting by Konstantin Stanislavski, the Russian theater director. Now, Stanislavski said something, you know, he was the one that founded the Moscow Arts Theater in the He said that for an actor to be able to effectively communicate the role to the viewer or to the audience, or most probable the listener, the actor must be able to get into character, become fully emotional, understand the psychology of the character or the role he is to play. In other words, the actor is expected to get out of himself or herself, then get into the character. So much so that when the viewer is watching, or when the listener is listening, or when the audience is watching, if it has to be a play, the audience is so carried away by the acting that they believe every single word by the actor, every single action by the actor. How? Konstantin Stanislavski said that with the emotional recall style of acting and the magic if style of acting, with these two major acting styles, an average actor can get by with becoming very good in his efforts to play the role. What is emotional recall? What is magic if? Konstantin Stanislavski said in his method acting style, he said that as an actor, an aspiring actor, or already popular actor, so to speak, when you are given a role to play, one of the first things that will help you to be able to get into character is emotional recall. In a bid to reenact the role of the character you've been given, you should be able to think back to an incident or incidents that happened. You know, your emotional bank, you are recalling, you know, things that have happened in the past.